checking it out. She doesn't quite know what to think of it. But a big reason that I've never kept her out here in the winter before is because I was not set up for her out here. I had the dog glue, which was okay for the summer, but there was nothing blocking the opening in the winter, which means if it was really nasty out, then I had to worry about snow, sleet, rain, whatever, blowing right in. She would have gotten soaked, and she would have been miserable, and it would not have been good for her. What I had at my house was set up for her. She kept her dry and warm in the winter. And it actually had two sides for it. There was a side for the chickens and a side for the goats. Well, that's been taken apart, and which meant that I had to get this done. Now, this is not perfect. I am not a carpenter. I had trouble getting it square, especially since I wanted the extension, the house going into the extension. So that meant no board at the bottom because it would have been very difficult to go over that. So I had trouble getting it square and made mistakes and had to redo things, but I got her done. Now, the frame itself is made out of scrap pieces of 2x2s that I got at my dad's house. They're pressure treated, so that means that they should be fairly weather resistant. The plywood admittedly is interior plywood. The majority of it actually came from the goat chicken house that I had at my house. In order to keep the chickens and the goats separated, because let's face it, the goats would have just been eating the chicken feed, which would have gotten expensive, I had a divider. The divider was plywood. That piece there, the bottom piece, and the back side here, all came from that wood. I had had a board out here. It was about 2x8 that I thought I was going to be able to use. The only problem is I needed a minimum of 26 inches high. And 2 feet is not the same as 26. And the other board is another piece of plywood that I had out here. It meant that I didn't have to cut up that other piece. Don't know if I'm going to use that for anything or not. The roof was actually from my old chicken houses. I kept that because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, and as you can see, it's been used. The board down here is a furring strip that I had, 1x2, whatever you want to call it. And the rest were ones that I had gotten for a project that never got done. So they came in handy. The hinges are reused hinges. Now there's opens from the top. I had thought about having it open from the bottom here. The only problem is couldn't figure out where to put a screw eye. This is not quite in the right position. I will be redoing it one day. I just don't have the time today to make it so that this lines up properly. I have no problem opening it from out here. I just can't put a screw eye on so that this will stay closed. But I needed to get it done. They keep changing the forecast for Wednesday. One time you look at it, they're calling for rain. Another time you look at it, they're calling for snow rain mix. Then you look at it, they're calling for snow. Then they're saying snow showers. But I don't really know what it's going to do, so I wanted to get this done. And of course, other weather, bad weather is moving in. Now I have her feeder in here, and she hasn't eaten all her feed yet. She's busy checking out the hay that I put in her house, seeing what she can eat out of that. I use old hay, but I have feed on one side, I have bacon soda on the other, and she's all set now for the winter. I said I will be redoing this. I'm just not sure when, but until I get to it, she should be fine. So I hope you learned something. Hope you have a nice day, and I'll